begin with the next topic of cross product. Yesterday we have come across a few observations of the cross product which we went through. Now in this video we'll come across the properties of cross product and its theoretical formula, that is the component form of writing the cross product. Okay, this is the first step for our numericals and cross product. So in this I'll see the first property, which is very simple and not much of explanation type. So in this one, first I can see that first one is distributive property itself, correct? No? So simply it is A cross B plus C if it is given, B plus C in the bracket, A vector cross B vector plus C vector. So what I'll do is I will multiply the A vector first to the B, that is a cross product with the B vector, then plus A cross C. Simple as that. Distributive property. A is distributed along multiplication with the addition with that too. So simple as that. So it is nothing much deal. And also the second property which we have also learned in the dot product, that is a scalar multiplication to any number multiplication to the cross product. Suppose if they give a number that has to be multiplied to the cross product of two vectors, that number can be separately multiplied to the first vector and then again cross producted with the second vector, or it can be multiplied to second vector then cross producted to the first vector, or you can first find the cross product of both and then multiply the number to that. So that is simple as that. So it is all the same, that is what they mean. So it can either simply multiply it for the first vector and then multiply to the second, or second vector you multiply a number and then multiply to the first one, or multiply the two vectors and multiply the number to that. So simple. So it is nothing much use in this. So the next topic, this one is the very important topic for you. Though the derivation is not the important point for you all, I want you all to know how it is derived. Okay. So in the may not be in the point of examination point, but in order to remember the formula and also in order to solve these type of problems, in some way we can add this derivation in your question and ask it in a different way. Okay, so that's why understanding this derivation is very important, and also because since we have a lot of time right now, we can learn this properly, and then you need not learn this every now and then again and again. You can just learn it this time once and remember how it is derived, that particular formula. Okay, so I'll tell you, what if, let us assume these two vectors, that is A vector, let it be as in the component form as A1 I cap plus A2 j cap plus A3 k cap. Okay, then the B vector, be it in the component form as B1 I cap plus B2 j cap plus B3 k cap. So these two are the component form for vector quantities. Now to find out A cross B, what will I do? I will write the A vector then cross B vector. Okay, simple, just write it like that. Then we'll frame the formula to this one. Okay, so here what is happening is A vector cross B vector I have written. Then in that, the first term I multiply to the first term of this one. So here I can say A1 I cap cross B1 I cap. Okay, so here what happens is, these two are numbers, that is A1, B1 are just numbers. I need not go for the cross product of that one because it is numbers, any product is same itself. So A1, B1, I'll write it here, then I cross I will be remaining inside bracket, correct or no? So understand this clearly, numbers are just multiplied, just like that, and I cross I will be written inside the bracket. Okay, then I'll go to the first term multiplied to the second one now. Now A1, B2, and write it here, I cross J it is. Yes, I cross J. Then the first one to the third one, A1, B3, I'll write it here as it is. Then I cross K. Correct? So this is the first portion, that is first term being multiplied to the three terms of the second vector. That is done. Let me go to the second term to the second vector. A2, B1, here, J cross I. Okay, A2, B2, J cross J. A2, B3, J cross K. Okay, The second term to the second vector is done. Now the last term to the second vector. This will be like this. Okay. A1 B1, sorry, A3 B1 K cross I. Okay. So then A3 B2 K cross J. Then A3 B3 K cross K. Clear? So this is the complete expansion of the cross multiplication. This is cross product of these two. Complete expansion. I want you to do this correctly, and this should be written correctly in your book. That is, without seeing this board, I want you to do it manually, and if in case, then you will understand when there is certain type of mistake that you can correct it later. Okay? So please do it on your own, this particular part, and obtain this expression till here. Okay? I have written it one after the other. I have written here plus symbol, don't forget that. So you can write it in a one straight line also, but I prefer it written to be one after the other. Why? Because it is clearly, like, I can make a clear picture out of it rather than written complete in a straight line. So let it be like this so that it is visibly clear. So next over here, we have studied this thing before, just in the cross product observation. That in the previous video we have come across I cross I is same as J cross J is same as K cross K, and its answer is 0. So here I can say wherever there is same terms cross multiply, that term is completely 0. This is 0, and here this is 0, and here this is 0, which means these terms will not be there only. Correct or not? Because it is multiplied with 0. So the only terms remaining is this one. I will write it here. A1 B2 I cross J. Then next one, this one also I have written here. I cross J is nothing but minus of J cross I. Commutative law does not hold good with indirect, but instead the negative of that holds good. I cross J is equal to minus of J cross I. So what I will do is, in these positions, wherever these are, I cross J, and over here I cross K is there, right, in the second position. This one I will rewrite it. Why? Because I cross K, these terms I will write it as K cross I. Okay, here from this one to this one, K cross I. I cross K, I will write it as K cross I. When I write it as K cross I, it will become minus of that. Okay, because I cross K is equal to minus of K cross I. That one I will write it here like this. Then next one comes here, A2 B1. This is J cross I, but already I cross J is present here. Correct? I will write this one in the other way, that is I cross J minus. Here it was J cross I plus, when I interchange its positions, it becomes minus. That is I cross J, this will become minus. Okay, then the next term is this one, A2 B3 here. Okay, A2 B3 J cross K. Then A3 B1 K cross I. Okay, because K cross I over here, it is already been changed its position. This one has already been changed its position. So this one I'll keep it as it is. Then the last one, this one, A2 B3 K cross J is there, but I need J cross K. So I will interchange its position and write it as minus A3 B2 J cross K. Okay, so this is the expansion part of it using this particular form. Clear? So rewrite everything in that way. Then after that, make a closer arrangement, that is I cross J is nothing but K. J cross K is nothing but I, and K cross I is nothing but J. This thing we have studied last class. And why did I change the position, interchange this one according to this particular term? You can see here only I cross J is there. This is J cross K. J cross K, I have written it in J cross K form. K cross I have written it in K cross I form. Okay, whichever was in the other form, that is I cross K, because I cross K is not here. I have written it in the formula form, that is K cross I. Okay, I hope the confusion is cleared in this point. Why, which and all form I should keep it, that should be related to this formula. So always make a note that you did write it in the separate side form, so that you will understand what to keep and what not to keep. Okay, so here I can see that A cross B2, I cross J. These are the terms which is pending. And after that, here I cross j will become k. I'll write it here. And k cross I will become j. Okay. Then I cross j will become k. And k cross j will become I. Sorry, j cross k will become I. And k cross I will become j. And j cross k will become I. So just substitute these terms according to singular terms. Over. So after substituting this one, I will combine the ones which is having the common terms. That is I and I. I'll write it together. Where are the i's? This one, I, and this one. Correct? No? So A1 B3 minus A3 B2. I'll put it inside the bracket and I is common for that. Then for J, J1 is here, one more is here. For this one you can see it is minus, correct? No? So I'll take the minus symbol outside. A1 B3, this is plus, which means minus of minus is plus. The one of the minus I've taken outside, so it becomes minus. A3 B1. Okay, A1 B3, this is minus, so I've taken the minus outside. So this, when I have taken the minus common outside, minus will remain here. A3 B1, then J is common for these both. Okay, then the last one, K is covered. A1 B2 minus A2 B1 K. Okay, so this is the final form of expansion. This is all you can expand, correct? And now this type of a form you have seen in the matrices and determinants, correct? That is determinant form. So check this. If at all this, you stop it till here, and I'll tell you all A cross B, this one, expand this and see. I, J, K, you write in the first row. A1, A2, A3, write in the second. B1, B2, B3, you write in the third. Okay, then check the expansion of this determinant I into A2, B3 minus A3, B2. Yes, sir. Very same as this one. Minus J, because you know this is the second position determinant. The second position sign is minus J into A1, B3 minus A3, B1, isn't it? Then plus K into A1, B2 minus A2, B1. Same as this. So which means this full expansion is shortened and written in the form of determinants. Okay, so this is going to be my final formula for cross product. So using given two vectors, I can substitute their components in this one and just expand and find out the cross product of that. And that cross product will be in the vector form. Something number of I cap plus something of j cap plus something of k cap. So that is how this formula derivation you can remember and understand. Clear? So go through this derivation in detail. Clearly you understand. You can continue in the next video for this one. I will solve a few example problems and then you can move on with the exercise problems. Okay? So understand it clearly. Rewind the video, pause it down, understand, and then stop the video and derive this equation. Okay? So that you need not learn this derivation again and again. This only once. So understand it, clearly listen to the video and pause and stop the video completely and go on deriving this equation until you get that. Okay? Try your best to get it on your own without checking into the video again. Yeah? Continue.